Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition, The Shadows of Arm. And when last we left off, House Despana lies in ruins. The demon that they sought to summon to help them attack the surface elves left disappointed, and Mother Argilus and Fair are dead. But we got what we came for. We have the silver dragon eggs, and we better not go back to Usnartha. We'd probably be safe right now, but that wouldn't last very long, because if we're in there for more than a few minutes, or if we rest now, we apparently get attacked by Umberhulks. That's not quite what I was anticipating would happen, but hey, we could always do with a little bit more experience. And we're all still hasted, so have at thee! A few Umberhulks won't be a problem. There are now only 2 of them, and there's only 1. And I have been discovered, and the alarm has been sounded throughout the Drow City. Getting anywhere will be problematic at best. That is what will happen if you do anything else before this point that foils your disguise. But fortunately, we were very sneaky and clever and avoided that. So let's try resting again. And here's that encounter of lizardmen that I said could happen. Let's go and fight them, shall we? We could do with a little bit more experience, and maybe at some point the game will let us rest. We do want all our spells back before we go and talk to the silver dragon, because we'll be thrown into combat again pretty quickly. These foes are nearly gone. I don't think any of them have managed to hit us. There we go. Get all of these small amounts of gold, and there are a few valuable gems that we can take. Might as well grab them. Okay, they're not that valuable, but every little bit does help. And into the gem bag they go. There we go. Every little bit of coin will increase that total. We'll definitely find a use for that small amount of coin. Let's try resting again. And this time we were actually successful. Marvelous. Let us go into here.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Party is gathered. And let us move forward. There won't be any conversation until we initiate dialogue this time round. A little bit further forward. And there is Adalon. We have good news for you. That said, you probably know at least part of it because of the imp. The imp likely informed you of the good news. But we have even better news. We were able to bring them out of Usnartha safely.
I see you there.
You return. You have returned victorious. I sense my beautiful eggs on your person. I shall take them and give you the reward I promised. May it serve you well in the time ahead. But I also promised a safe escape, did I not? One that will lead you nearer Bodhi and Irenicus? I shall transport us there and see you safely away. Truth be known, you might have gone there yourself, but it would have been all the bloodier. Adalon is referring to that area in the Kuatoa dungeon that I decided not to investigate. If you do, it's very likely that you'll get into a combat. It was an honor to serve. May I assume that you will be punishing the Drow now? No. They will receive what they deserve from the elves they face. I have seen too much of this evil to continue guarding a peace that does not exist. My last act here will be a few selective deaths, perhaps. A lesson for those responsible for my strife at least. They will know not to cross my path again. But that is for later. I shall help you as I promised and then see to my own concerns. Before I take you to the way to the surface, I must transform myself into a more suitable form. There are some level ups. Adalon takes a more normal guise. Now I shall bring us near the surface, to the ruins I guard. This is the final part of the Kuatoan dungeon. You can see the tiny amount of the fog of war there. This is the way we could have gone. And for this fight, because we helped Adalon retrieve her eggs, this fight has Adalon with us, and this makes it exceptionally easy. I want you to fight this Drow wizard, I want you to fight this Drow priestess, and I want you to fight this Drow. And we can have everyone else wait, because Adalon is a silver dragon of no small amount of power, and we shouldn't have a problem dealing with these foes. Case in point, they're all pretty much gone. here, and that should do it.
The way to the surface is clear. Good luck to you.
Thanks, Adalon. And let's get those level ups sorted, shall we? We have quite a few of them. And notice that some of the weapons that we got there are not drow made. That's because those are the ones dropped by the skeletons. Now let's first look at the prize that we got for retrieving those eggs. Nakaradan's Crossbow +3. Boa Nakaradan crafted this masterpiece almost 30 years ago, lacing strong enchantments within both the wood and the string. It is said he only fired it once, just to see if it performed as true as he had hoped. He was reportedly not disappointed, but a local nobleman sought the bow soon after, and it eventually fell into the hands of bandits. It's not a bad weapon, it's a +3 crossbow. Any gift from a dragon is a gift to be treasured indeed, but considering that the only person that uses a crossbow in this party has a much better crossbow, a +4 one, it's very likely that we're just going to be selling that at some point. Now for the level ups. These are going to be important level ups because Terri is now a level 20 fighter. We get no proficiency points, no skills because we never get any skills, a Thaco reduction, 3 hit points, 1 lore, and an ability. And my, are there some very nice abilities here. We have things like Hardiness that gives you a 40% resistance to all forms of damage, and it lasts for 1 round for every 2 levels of the warrior, which means it would last for 10 rounds. We have Warcry, which can panic all opponents in a 15-foot radius if they don't make a save versus spell. Then you have Resist Magic, which sets your magic resistance to 50. It is not cumulative with other forms of magic resistance though. Then we have Death Blow and Greater Death Blow. Death Blow makes it so that for 2 rounds, any creature of 10th level or lower is instantly killed when struck by the warrior. This is a good way to clear up fodder in a fight. Greater Death Blow makes it so that creatures of 12th level or lower are instantly killed. Then you have Power Attack, which is quite a mighty ability. It makes your attack so forceful that they can stun an opponent for 2 rounds if the opponent fails a save versus death at a -4 penalty. This lasts for 2 rounds and allows you to take Critical Strike, which allows you once per day to concentrate all your attacks in 1 round to strike a vital area. Every attack made in the next round is a critical hit. That allows you to deal a colossal amount of damage, but you do need Power Attack. And then there's Smite. Smite allows you to stun and knock an enemy back, and it's not that fantastic. It also doesn't work against really large creatures like dragons or giants, and it does require Power Attack and Critical Strike. The one I'm tempted by is Whirlwind Attack. This ability allows the warrior to unleash a flurry of super fast blows. The ability sets one's number of attacks per round to 10, but one's Thaco and damage suffer a 4-point penalty. The Whirlwind Attack lasts for 1 round. Taking Whirlwind Attack allows you to then take Greater Whirlwind Attack, where there is no penalty to attack or damage. We're going to take Whirlwind Attack. Of all the abilities, I think Terri being able to just unleash a massively fast flurry of death is super apt. Now we're going to have Corgan likely take something a little bit different. Corgan has much the same options. Now we could take Whirlwind Attack once more, but I feel like taking Power Attack for him. Being able to stun opponents is exceptionally useful, and I do want a bit of variety. We can always take Whirlwind Attack and Greater Whirlwind Attack later. So let's take this. Now, I don't know if Dawn is going to be given options. Dawn is not, but Dawn does get a single proficiency point, and we'd be wise to put it into something like, say, Halberd, so that he has a specialization in that. Marvellous. And I believe... Ooh, he does have abilities. Ooh. I think... Ooh, there's also Summon Fallen Diva. This spell opens an abyssal gate and calls forth a demonic diva to fight at the caster's side until the spell expires. That's something I wasn't expecting. A special ability for his class. I still think probably taking Whirlwind Attack would be a better thing for him, because he uses 2 weapons. Then again, the -4 penalty to attacks isn't really going to mean that he'll hit that well, because he has a much lower THAC0 compared to Coleman and Terri. It's probably not a very powerful ability, but you know what? I am tempted by Summon Fallen Diva. It's probably going to help us quite a bit in some later fights, but then again, Death Blow is... It's always difficult to pick abilities like this, but this is just really good, and then we can take Greater Whirlwind Attack later. It's likely the best choice. Even with a 4-point penalty, 10 attacks, he's pretty much guaranteed to hit at least a few times, so we'll have him take Whirlwind Attack too. But I will keep in mind that Summon Fallen Diva is an option. Now, if we have Dawn press this, he has Whirlwind Attack. Now that we've done that, let us ignore the items on the floor because they're not going to be useful. Apart from, actually no, you're holding on to something, aren't you? So, we don't need to. Let us depart through the door.
If that's what you
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
And immediately get attacked by some drow. Now, one of these drow is a spellcaster. We'll want to deal with that spellcaster quickly.
Yes,
And we'll also want to make sure that you're equipped with a
whatever you desire.
ranged weapon. Which one? Aha! You're the spellcaster. And you're equipped with these arrows, are you? I want you to use some of the limitless arrows that you have.
Yes.
And I want you to remain invisible. Also, you do not have stone skin active. Something to note. There are also going to be some spiders here, I believe. But we're not just going to encounter enemies here. Also, I want you to switch your target to the wizard. I'm sure that Corgan and Dawn will be absolutely fine there. Now, the wizard is stunned because the wizard summoned an earth elemental, and that really wasn't a smart idea. It would seem like the earth elemental is actually on our side at the moment. Is that because the wizard died before the elemental was properly summoned? I've no idea, but I'm not going to say no to a free earth elemental. Definitely not. Okay, a few more enemies to dispatch here, and then we can move on. And there is, again, no point in picking up any of these. Let's move forward a bit. There is one spider that we missed. We can take care of the spider. A single spider is no match for us. Also, you might as well quaff that potion. There's more combat in our future. Ah, it would seem like we found some elves. And they're in combat with the drow. Let us help them out, shall we? Shouldn't take too long to dispatch that drow. There we go.
All about it.
And will they talk to us?
Dark ones shall never conquer us.
You there. You are not of our enemy's dark design. Get to the surface and report to Elhan immediately. Can do, but first, let's see if we can help out. We want some experience after all. And these enemies are especially easy to take care of with the elves helping us out. These war elves that are well equipped. Now all this equipment is still working as intended because it hasn't.
Never surrender the hard ones.
Flee this place lest you fall as a casualty of circumstance. Get to the surface and report to Elhan. He will see to your safety. Can do. Once all this armor touches sunlight, it's going to be completely useless. And look, even more combat! And these drow are vastly outnumbered. Perhaps if they had the demon that House Despana had been trying to summon on side, this combat would go very differently. But they don't. So, we will have at thee and dispatch all of them. A little bit of experience there. A little bit more experience here. We're not using Whirlwind Attack yet. We don't need to. When we find a truly dangerous foe, that's when we'll use Whirlwind Attack. Any more dialogue?
For Queen Enisai, we shall fight to the death.
You are not of the drow. Get to the surface before you fall between our forces. Elhan will see to your safety. I get the feeling the game's trying to tell us that we should get out of here and that Elhan will be talking to us soon. And they're all going this way to make sure that the drow don't get further in. No one here? Anything that... Ooh, there are actually things that I can loot here that I didn't notice. 57 gold. And... nothing. And 8 gold. And nothing else that I have missed. Okay. Worth checking. Let's move on.
Of course.
This leads outside. Let's go. If we can fit in the door. There we go.
As much as you have traveled, these last few feet to the surface have seemed the longest trek by far. Your relief at seeing the light of the sky is palpable, even though you are not really fleeing the black of the Underdark, rather the constant treachery. Unfortunately, even though the setting has changed, your immediate future still looks to be far from peaceful. This area has been the staging ground for many recent battles, and judging from the faces of the beleaguered elven soldiers that now approach, there may be more to come.
Let's hope that one of those battles isn't them fighting us.
We shall never surrender the Heartwoods.
I speak the common tongue that you might hear and be warned. All that breach the surface will be fought back. Wait, you are no drow. But you travel with one among you. Are you collaborators? Have you betrayed us all to the darkness below? My name is Terri Coleman. I have fought through the drow to find Irenicus. You know of Irenicus? You will speak with Elhan immediately. He will determine your relationship with the fiend. By all means, if this Elhan can tell me of Irenicus, I'm very eager to meet him. Your fate will be decided shortly. You will remain under guard until Elhan sees you. Make no move. You will be watched closely. Their suspicion is definitely warranted considering all that they've gone through. Off we go!
The Seldarine watch over us. Victory shall be ours this day.
Welcome. Yes, welcome. I'll have you know I do not trust you. I have no reason to trust you. I do not feel that I have to trust you. No doubt the same applies from your perspective. We have a lot of options here. So, with the admission out of the way, are you going to tell me what this is about? No, I am not. I merely came to look at you. You arrived from the depths, and I wished to see if the darkness was in your eyes. I am undecided. Elhan will see to you. He will make sure you are comfortable, and that you reveal what you must of yourself. He's experienced, and he has knowledge of the enemy. Mind that you obey him, regardless of your intent. If you attack any of my elves here, I will have you killed on the spot. We are Legion, rest assured. Oh, I can believe that.
Well, I thank you for coming.
It's not like I had a choice. I agree. You still don't. Realizing that will make things easier. I like Elhan. He's a very relatable character. He's very fed up of all these attacks, and it shows in his voice. I shall keep this brief, as I have little time to waste on you. A few questions are all I need regardless. Ask what you will. I have nothing to hide from you. I will ask some things of you, and you will speak what you know. My sages will detect any falsehood. They are very good at that sort of thing. They will pay close attention to your next statement, especially since you are already damned for having a drow traveling with you. Now then, something simple and direct to begin with. You emerged from the home of the drow. Were you fleeing, or are you in league with them? I was fleeing their dark realm. Truth. I concur. Truth. A truth? Well, a good start. You are currently not an ally of the Drow. This tells me nothing of your motives, though. Let us continue. A name, then, that you may know something of. Irenicus. Do you know of him? I battled my way through the Underdark seeking his black heart. Yes, I know him. Absolute truth. No doubt at all on both answers. Well, that is somewhat reassuring. Your bloodlust certainly illustrates your true feelings about him. This has put me more at ease. Whatever manner of creature you are, we are on the same side in this instance at least. It is as I told you. Why wouldn't you believe me to begin with? You are certainly less of a threat than I first imagined, but do not think you are welcome yet. This area is still at risk, and I will not take chances. Especially since there is still the matter of the vampire and the drow you travel with. I will return to them later, rest assured. For now, I will apprise you of the situation, and you will realize why travel in this area is to be restricted. I've only just realized that there's a high chance that Hexat does not have the Cloak of Dragomir on right now. She should be burning up as we speak, but because we're in a cutscene, that's not happening. You might have received a warmer welcome, but Irenicus has triggered the strongest of emotions where'er he has trod. He has stepped beyond all bounds of decency, and our very city is under the weight of his thumb. Soldanesalar is simply gone. One of the greatest elven cities of the age, and it disappeared right in front of your eyes. Ha! I find that difficult to believe. It has only been concealed, but we cannot penetrate the magics that have hidden it. We are forced to remain here, pestered by drow while supplies falter. Drow that were incited by Irenicus and the bargains he made in the Underdark. Truth. Yes, she knows much of this. It would seem your travels have given you quite a bit of insight into the plans Irenicus has made. I wonder if you might be of service to us. I might be, if you think you can trust me. You obviously bear no love for Irenicus, making you the enemy of our enemy. Classically speaking, this might make you our friend. And even if you are not, you cannot reach Irenicus without helping us. He is untouchable, save for one possibility. Within the temple was an artifact of great power, the Rhine Lanthorn. It is an ancient lantern, etched with the oldest of runes. The Lanthorn is attuned to the Elven nation, and no magic can bar its return to Elven lands. We could simply walk to Soldanesalar if we had possession of it. Someone stole the relic when the temple fell to the drow. Obviously, it was a servant of Irenicus capitalizing on the chaos of the battle. We have not been able to determine where the thief went, despite the best efforts of our sages. It makes me think that the Lanthorn is no longer in Elven territory. It must have been Bodhi. Only she would have been trusted with such a thing. Truth. You are not helping the situation any, you know. Bodhi. You may know more than we about this situation after all. I propose we exchange services. It would help if I knew what was really going on here. I cannot say more than I have. Perhaps if I had access to the city, I would have insight, but as it stands, I'm in the same situation you are. The attack came without warning, born in the mind of a human we did not know. This was not in the realm of possibility, but it remains as such. He has dealt with drow, defiled our temple, and violated our city. His name is to be spit and spoken of as rarely as possible. He is all that elves are not. If you know how to find the treacherous servant of this fiend, I suggest that you do it. You seek Irenicus, we seek Irenicus. To help us is to help yourself. Find the Lanthorn. Seek outside Elven lands in whatever location you think an important servant of Irenicus would be. Only then will we reach this man. I will need supplies, and I might need help facing Bodhi. We cannot march on human territory. As great as our problems are, they would only get worse if we appeared to be sending agents into the cities of Arm. This deal just gets better and better. We march to our doom while they stay here. You have traveled extensively. Return to the groups you have already encountered and ask their aid. I am sure you will find some among them to help you. They need not know the nature of the emergency, only that a great evil must be routed. The less who know of the shame brought by Irenicus, the better. Can you help with special supplies? Holy water and stakes come to mind. I have such things. The water is exceptionally potent, and will prove effective against those that wrong the temple. The wrath of Seldarin is in each vial. It sounds as though you know the nature of the creature you must face. Your service is now doubly appreciated. Before I go, what did you say about shame? What shame has Irenicus caused you? It is not your concern. His deeds will be apparent when we reach him. Until then, you should begin your task. I will begin immediately. We have talked long. I will make sure the guards know you are free to come and go. Unfortunately, I must bring up a final point of contention. I refer, of course, to a drow and the vampire. They cannot accompany you. I owe Terri Coleman my life. I will not betray her nor your quest. Truth. Yes, there is malice in her heart, but it is not directed at us. Are we finished then? There is also the matter of the drow. I was wondering when you would give voice to the looks you have been giving me all eve. Poor Elhan, hating me so. You are an unhealthy risk. I will not allow it. And we cannot allow you to take her from our party. She is not only our only cleric, she is also a trusted friend. I cannot do this without the group I am familiar with. She must go with me. Very well. There is one way I will allow you to partake in our plans. She must first swear loyalty to you and your cause, Terri. And if you believe that, you'll believe anything. Bah, such a statement is unnecessary. I am loyal, but if it will help your doubts, I do so swear loyalty to this cause. And she must agree to a geese. It is the only way. Your distrust is such that you require magical bonds to ensure I commit no treachery? I wonder if the drow are the only elves with darkened hearts. Such talk does not endear me to you. Do you agree, or do you not? Very well. Have your spells cast and secure my will to the task. I imagine spitting on you for the indignity will be restricted as well? A pity. With the casting of this spell, all my doubt is removed. Vaconia, you are bound to the task, and I fear no treachery. Let death be the threat if I am wrong. Terri Coleman, I wish you well in your goals. All Soldan Esalar depends on your success. And it's at this point that I should put this back on. It's also at this point that this is still here? This should not still be here. This drow elven chain should have become... We have dialogue. You and I are similar in more ways than one, Balspawn. We do both have excellent taste in partners. Apart from that, we are both outcast, labeled and cast aside by the world, the victims of our heritage. Our upbringing was different, but at our core we are both strangers to the world around us. We make our way, but we are cast out and spat upon for our parentage. Our heritage has caused us both problems, yes. In different ways, I'm sure, but life would certainly be easier were I not a Balspawn. We stand forever apart. Few know us, and fewer still understand us. Fate has brought us together for a reason. Our destiny is writ large in the stars. One day, all will cower before us. You have a magnificent way with words. Yes, I do. and off everyone goes. Ah, now we've lost our items. For a brief moment, we still had everything. Now, we just have this. Adamantine dust. This is a pile of adamantine dust, most likely the end result of exposing a drow item to the light of day. If you can somehow hide an item away from that event trigger that reduces all drow items to dust, then you can keep using it for the rest of the game and likely into Throne of Baal. As it stands, that item is gone, and all the other items that we would have held on to are also gone. But that's alright, because we have a mighty arsenal of equipment as it is. And apparently that place that Edmund was trying to get to, that place was so difficult to reach that pathfinding proved very difficult. Now, we could talk to Elhun, we could look at this here. With typical grace, this elven structure serves as the field home of Elhun while his army battles the drow. But what we actually want to do is we want to leave this area and go check out some other areas, because it's been a while since we've gone back to Athkatla, and we have some items to make, some items to buy, and we have a stronghold to check up on. We are back in the main area of the game, and we can be here for as long as we like. Or as little time as we like. We could focus immediately on completing this quest that we've been given by Elhun, and then going to the next major area. But I've got a couple of things I want to do first. And so, when we come back, folks, going back to familiar places. Nevermore will we return to the Underdark in this game. We are back on the surface to stay. Hopefully. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.